Welcome to the world of that time I got reincarnated as a slime, a land brimming with mysteries, where powerful nations rise and fall, and magic is woven into every corner of existence. Here, humans, monsters, and mystical beings coexist in a delicate balance, driven by politics, alliances, and conflict. At the heart of this vast world is the Tempest Federation, a thriving nation founded by Rimuru Tempest.
The Tempest Federation, a nation founded by Rimuru Tempest. It started as a small goblin village and evolved into the most powerful nation in Tensura. Rimuru Tempest, an anomaly in the world of slime, the founder and king of the Tempest Federation, a demon lord of Octagram, the transcendent slime with the ultimate skill of void god Azathoth, known far and wide as the Chaos Creator.
I killed them all. They're dead. Every single one of them. They're like animals. And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
In the world of Tensura, there are two main methods of reviving someone: the secret art of revival and resurrection magic. The secret art of revival is a technique performed by Rimuru Tempest in conjunction with the secret art of resurrection. This art regenerates the damaged soul of a deceased target, making it possible to resurrect the target with the secret art of resurrection. The talent and energy required to pull off this technique are far beyond the scopes of humanity and even greater magians. On the other hand, resurrection magic is a form of holy magic that returns the available and intact soul of a deceased target to its body, resurrecting the target. This method seems to be more common and is known and frequently used by many people in Luminios. Now here's the question for you all: what method did Luminous Valentine use in order to revive Hinata?
After Diablo slaughtered nearly all of the underworld, in search of worthy beings to serve his master, he comes back to Rimuru with a total of only 10 demons. But what Rimuru didn't know is that Diablo had simply recruited 3 beings like him, Primordial.
Primordial of Demon, also known as 7 Pillars of Primordial, are the oldest and most extraordinarily powerful demons. Each of them is referred to by their signature colors rather than an actual name. Primordial Purple-Violet, Ultima. Primordial White-Blanc, Testarossa. Primordial Yellow-Jaune, Carrera, Primordial Black Noir, Diablo, Primordial Green Vert, Misery, Primordial Blue Blue, Rain, Primordial Red Rouge, Guy Crimson.
Earlier, you seemed displeased that I was your only opponent. But normally I would give such a menial task to someone else. There's only one girl you've taken on. I accepted it because you were the one who killed Shizu. That's not what you think! That's enough. I will kill you.
My name is Salmon, like the fish. First name, Susie. I was 14 years old when I was murdered on December 6th, 1960.
The dragon has 3 heads. One to be a murderer who will unleash death. One to be a monarch whose crown will weigh heavy. And one to be mad whose ideas will change history.
follow my instructions. There's no time for introductions. He was the one that made us. You'll be the one to save us. Welcome to the circus. Are you feeling nervous? His voice needs to deceive you. My voice just wants to leave.
After the fight between Hinata and Rimuru, Hinata got attacked by the clerics of 7 luminaries. Rimuru can't help her because his healing potion won't work because of Hinata's magic resistance. While Rimuru holding Hinata, the 7 luminaries attack Rimuru. But Rimuru defeated them easily. After that the 7 luminaries threatened them that if you kill us the wrath of God Luminous will burn all of you to ashes. And then giant door appeared and opened, the 7 luminaries kneeled down and a girl came out the door and apologized for causing a trouble to Demon Lord Rimuru. It is the God Luminous, everyone is shocked. She walked close to Hinata and healed her. After she healed Hinata, Luminous disposed the 7 luminaries.
Have you ever wondered how powerful the 7 luminaries are in Tensura? The clerics of the 7 luminaries were legendary figures who trained chosen heroes in the past. They are the highest consultants of the Western Holy Church, which is why their appearance in Tensura was such a big deal. If you don't know, the luminaries were strong humans blessed by Luminous, giving them long lifespans in exchange for their service. Each one had strength surpassing the average enlightened. They also possess the strongest offensive magic in the holy magic system, capable of causing spiritron decay at the speed of light, erasing even souls. All enlightened individuals are incredibly powerful, but their strength can vary greatly. An enlightened strength is said to be close to that of a demon lord seed. You see, the 7 luminaries are named after the 7 brightest celestial objects in the sky, and each day of the week represents one. Hinata Sakaguchi sees through them, considering them to be bored old men and women who interfere in everything she does. Now, a question for you guys. Who is the leader of the clerics of the 7 luminaries?
True dragons are the highest-ranking beings in existence. They're nigh invulnerable and nigh unstoppable avatars of nature that serve as the pillars of all creation, with only 5 known to exist: Storm Dragon, Veldora; Scorch Dragon, Velgrind; Frost Dragon, Velzard Star King, Veldanava; Rising Star, Rimuru. They are considered the greatest creations of the Creator.
Veldora is attacked by his older sister, Velgrind. Fearing that Rimuru will be affected, he cuts the connection with him. Rimuru, knowing the situation, he goes to Veldora. Veldora was attacked and had his mind manipulated. Rimuru faces 2 true dragons alone.
It was as good a moment as any, as well as a small made an attack towards Velgrind.
A single strike from that sword had pierced the heavens and split the seas. Literally, the deadly shockwave bore no resemblance to the swing of a sword, and it severed Velgrind's wings in the middle of his evasion.
Velgrind took a quiet breath as she leapt into the space between worlds, seeking Rudra yet again. Each new leap was like stepping into an unknown dream, uncertain yet filled with traces of his presence, his soul scattered across endless realms. She remembered the first piece she found, a golden-haired youth ruling a starry continent. He had Rudra's spirit within him, faint but unmistakable. She stayed by his side, close enough to protect him, but always holding back. That was what he wanted after all. She watched as he became a king, conquered his neighbors, and left behind a legacy. His memory remained immortalized, yet she knew he was gone. And so it continued, each encounter more heartbreaking than the last. She would find him, recognize him, and yet never be fully recognized in return. She understood eventually. Veldanova hadn't created a single world, but many. Not parallel, but separate realms where Rudra could exist, only to vanish again.
In the world of Tensida, there exists an absolute unbendable rule. One that not only surpasses the very laws of nature, but also bypasses their very purpose completely. The rule I'm talking about here is the one that dictates that ultimate skills are the ultimate power. The unrivaled ability to treat the very laws of nature as nothing more than trivial suggestions. Key idea here is that an ultimate skill can only be countered by another ultimate skill. That's why any person who possesses one is considered to be extremely powerful.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Rimuru in the real story dies countless times, but is always saved by the heroine Chloe, who alters the timelines to always save her beloved. Chloe had the ability to go back in time. A gift and a curse intertwined. A power born of desperation and regret. Each time she used it, she hurled herself back 2,000 years, hoping that maybe this time she'd change what was destined. Yet, each attempt ended the same way. Rimuru would die. No matter what she tried, no matter the strategies, the alliances, or the sacrifices she made, his fate seemed written in blood and stone, as if mocking her efforts. And so the cycle continued, endlessly looping, a chain with no start and no end. Chloe would throw herself into each new timeline, only to watch him fall once more. Each attempt created a new world, another reality where a different Rimuru, each as beloved as the last, would face yet another death. There were no time paradoxes to unravel, no way to undo what she had done. Each timeline branched off, growing like roots of an ever-expanding tree, stretching deeper into infinity.
There are countless ways to reshape a shattered world, ways to rewrite the paths of those destined to fall. I've seen many of them, felt the weight of each choice and each sacrifice. Time bends to my will, yet some things remain constant. The need to protect, to safeguard what matters most. No matter how many times I face the end, no matter the price, I will save you, Rimuru.
His town could hasten the onset of the Great Tenma War. The Great Tenma War. The 500-year cycle of this great war begins with the invasion of the angels. Their targets are developed cities. The reason is unknown, but because the condition under which they are targeted is clear. Correct. If you allow that city to continue to expand at its current pace, it's all guaranteed. That would be troublesome. After all, what if it doesn't show a total victory in the next Great
After several hundred years, there was no sign of Valdanova's return. Feldway wondered why. Then a thought occurred to him. Could it be that Valdanova has abandoned us? Otherwise, there was no explanation for the fact that the supposedly immortal true dragon had not returned. If he was right, Feldway grieved and hated. Humans on Earth, no, not just humans, but elves, dwarves, beastmen, and even mages. He hated all demi-humans, that is to say, all of humanity. So he wanted to destroy them. The people who took Valdenava from us don't deserve to live. He would unite the world Valdenava had created with his own hands. And then he would condemn those who have committed the greatest crimes. That was Feldway's conclusion.
How did the god creator of the entire Tensura universe die? Well, he got bored of having the power to do everything and know everything, so he wanted to be surprised by watching his favorite creation, the human race. He gave away most of his powers, creating 7 ultimate skills called the Virtue series. Then he fell in love with a high human, Lucia Nazca, the sister of the true chosen hero Masayuki. After they traded sisters, Valdenava had a daughter with Lucia. Most of his power went to his daughter Melanava, and the rest of the power was used to create her a pet dragon named Gaia. After that, he became a normal human with no power whatsoever, and then he got off-screen in the middle of a war by a no-name character. Seems like a very anticlimactic story for the god creator of the universe and what used to be the most powerful being once ever.
Well, I just think it's about time to leave things in the hands of the future generations. I have made sure the world will progress without me, and even in my absence, they can fend for themselves. That's why knowing I will die anytime soon isn't so bad. Valdenava laughed, saying he never had to deal with a lifespan until now, but to him it feels like a gift, knowing he can go without worrying about the world. Just like how a parent can die happy without worrying over their children.
Feldway thought he had Rimuru trapped for good, banishing him to the end of space and time. But Rimuru, with Seal's guidance and the power of Void God Azathoth, turned the situation around. Using his ultimate skill, Rimuru manipulated the very fabric of space and time. By fully grasping the nature of the void, he tapped into his mastery over imaginary space, bending reality to his will. Through this, Rimuru defied the impossible and created a path back to the real world, escaping the trap that was meant to imprison him forever.
After
Rimuru, the beloved master of the Wisdom King Raphael, was not such a small being that he could be bound by something as uncertain as probability. Therefore, it could be at ease and follow him with faith. In that moment, Rimuru casually announced, "Come to think of it, I've never called you by a proper name. I usually call you Wisdom King Raphael-san, or partner, or whatever I feel like. I'm sorry if it's a little bit weird at a time like this, but I'm officially giving you a name." The Wisdom King Raphael found this incomprehensible. The Wisdom King Raphael was filled with a strange sensation. It was bewilderment. It was rapture. It was an outpouring of emotions. The Wisdom King could not hide its confusion at the incalculable uncertainties that had sprung up inside it. What was Master saying? Wisdom King Raphael was confused, but at the same time, it also realized Rimuru's intentions. He was worried after noticing my poor condition. He must have been more saddened than anyone else by the loss of Veldora. And yet, in spite of that, he still cared for others. Rimuru was that kind of a person. Well then, how about CL? You've always taught me so much, so I'll call you CL for short. What do you think? It may not be satisfactory, but just bear with it. If you have any complaints, go take it out on that red dragon, Rimuru remarked, as if he were hiding his embarrassment. The Wisdom King Raphael, no, CL, experienced a fullness of emotion that a skill could not have otherwise felt. "Ah, I am now in eternal bliss." Yes, that's what it thought. In that same moment, the time of evolution had arrived. This was the moment when the Manas CL was born from the ultimate skill, Wisdom King Raphael. I am CL, a Manas, the unifier of skills. I am with the soul of Rimuru-sama, and the one who provides support to my lord.
Gần 30 em không còn xinh như trước, vẫn dịu dàng, em làm 30 đầu tiên trả lại cho em ngày tháng tươi đẹp, em đời như hoa nát tan, hoa đã héo tàn, vẫn thương người sáng ngang, phần là thiếu nữ theo trong cả đời em luôn sắc son, duyên số không tròn người đời bao em thầm lòng. Gần 30 em không còn xinh như trước, vẫn dịu dàng, em làm 30 đầu tiên trả lại cho em ngày tháng tươi đẹp, em đời như hoa
series, the enigmatic Ivaraj emerges as the primary antagonist, a being shrouded in mystery and menace. Originating from the unfathomable depths of space, or perhaps even from the liminal edges of existence itself, Ivaraj embodies the essence of calamity personified. Though veiled in obscurity, his very existence is synonymous with catastrophe, an entity devoid of volition, driven solely by the primal instinct for devastation. Not even the legendary Feldway.
Veldanova decided to remove the threat from the world for the sake of humanity. Feldway was also ordered to subdue various demons with his own hands. However, the last remaining individual was troublesome. It was Ivaraj, the world-destroying dragon who would later become the king of the cryptids. We do not know where Ivaraj came from. In fact, it was unknown where it originated. It could be from the far reaches of space, or even at the edge of another dimension. The only thing that was known for sure was that it was the incarnation of disaster. It had power rivaling that of a true dragon, but it was unable to communicate due to its lack of intelligence. Moreover, because of its destructive instincts, it had the potential to bring about the eventual destruction of the world. It was such a threat that even Feldway could not defeat it one-on-one. In the end, Veldanova, unable to bear witness to the fierce struggle, took action, and Ivaraj was sealed away in the other world. Feldway was assigned to watch over him. Naturally, Feldway advised him to kill Ivaraj so as not to leave a bad taste in his mouth. It's dangerous, he said, but this was rejected by Veldanova. Veldanova dismissed the idea, saying that there was a possibility that Ivaraj would develop intelligence. As a result, the other world was filled with magicules leaking out from Ivaraj, and a new race of cryptids was derived.
The dragon has 3 heads. One to be a murderer who will unleash death. One to be a monarch whose crown will weigh heavy. And one to be mad whose ideas will change history.
We now stand before the most legendary existence ever conceived, Rimuru in his true body. His true form does not dwell in any known reality, but deep within a realm of pure imagination, where time does not flow and matter holds no meaning. There, he continuously observes countless terminals across the multiverse and evolves without end, transcending every limit of understanding. The domain he resides in feels to him like nothing more than a dream, suspended between reality and void. Concepts such as divinity, sacredness, or even the so-called realms beyond imagination. He has already surpassed them, crushed them, and left them behind like ashes of a bygone era. Even the mightiest beings, the gods of creation, the primal forces of all things, are but echoes in simulation before Rimuru's true body. Rimuru's true body no longer needs skills, for his very thoughts are power. Each time he thinks, each flicker of an idea within his mind gives birth to a new universe. Every fleeting emotion, joy, sorrow, doubt, becomes the source of new timelines, new worlds, or even entirely new laws of physics that have never existed before. To Rimuru's true body, the concept of reality is merely a byproduct of existence. He does not control the worlds. Rather, the worlds exist only if he chooses to think of them. There is a theory that when the various versions of Rimuru across the multiverse reach their ultimate limit, they are transmuted into fragments of the Rimuru true body. It is he who gathers, assimilates, and restructures every incarnation of Rimuru, to then be reborn as the one and only true body. Ivaraj, a name that once made countless dimensions bow in fear. An immortal entity mythologized as the sovereign of the ninth layer of reality, where every law must be rewritten upon entry into his domain. Across uncountable epochs, Ivaraj devoured civilizations, shattered the very codes of logic, and forged his empire from the ashes of burnt space itself. But then he realized every triumph, every memory, every ounce of pride was nothing more than a wisp of smoke, born from the mind of something else. He did not find the one who made him. There was no door to a creator, no voice from the higher planes, no angel bearing divine revelation. There was only Rimuru true body, a being beyond description, beyond form, beyond the need to manifest. Because even the concept of manifestation had been erased when Rimuru was born. At first, Ivaraj doubted, then panicked, then questioned, if I am not real, then why do I know that I am not real? That question no longer mattered. He only knew because Rimuru once thought, what if a dream became self-aware and realized it was only a dream? And so, Ivaraj knew. He wasn't destroyed, not by blades, curses, or ultimate skills. He simply faded into silence like a dream forgotten the moment the dreamer opens their eyes. You are the product of a question, and when I no longer feel like asking that question, you have no reason to exist. And thus it ended. There was no battle, no bloodshed, only a truth. So simple it needed no proof.